Well, what they've done is they've got a couple of rollers, and they're going to power those rollers from the front axle. And of course the rollers have to be contra-rotating, which means you want them to rotate like that and take the can through the middle. So one moves clockwise, the other moves anti-clockwise. So the chain has to go over the sprocket of one and under the sprocket of the other in order to make sure that this one curls that way and that one curls that way.
Okay.
And then you need an extra sprocket in order to make sure the chain can move under one of them.
Okay, looks simple. And they're going to weld on some sticky stuff, aren't they, to get a bit more traction?
That is the problem with this mechanism. Cans are slippy and they're round, so it's very hard to grip them and feed them through the rollers. That's the weakness with that design.
Okay, and the blue team?
The blue team have a different approach. They're going to pivot a long bar on the ground, and they've welded a peg onto the front wheel of the car. So as the wheel goes round and round, the peg hits the pole and moves it up and down. And the end of the pole is attached to a chain or a rope or something, and it's going to pull up a piston inside a cylinder and crush each can, and they're going to feed in the cans from the side. So it's very simple, but it's slow. They've been spinning up this wheel by putting the car in gear, and what happens is, if I just lift this for a moment, the wheel starts spinning, the peg lifts the bar up and down, okay, but the peg lifts up the bar and then it spins around again before the bar has had time to stop. So the bar never quite reaches the can before it starts being pulled up again. And that's the problem. So what they need is a kind of a runner under here to make a slot, so that when this bar comes up like so, that peg starts pulling the bar down, and then the peg doesn't lose contact with the bar.
It seems to be working rather well.
It does at the moment, but what they've done is quite cunning. I don't know whether it's by accident or design, but the chain can be a problem because they can flip off. Now, especially if the two sprockets, the top sprocket and the bottom sprocket, aren't in perfect alignment. Now what they've done is they've got a good tensioning system, so they've got using the spring from the road spring and the damper on the wheel, from the wheel to the body, they're using those to tension the chain, so there should be no problem with the chain coming off.
Okay, well it looks as though it's working okay.
Looks okay.
Can you foresee any problems with their design?
Well, I did spot one thing that they don't seem to have spotted, and that is that they don't have a filter over their air intake. So if there's any moisture in the cans, or any little bits of metal coming from the cans, it'll get into the engine, and that's the end of it.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
A damp problem. That could put a spanner in the works.
Or a dampener on the situation.